Okay, today we'll see the input output registers, okay, related to IO devices, okay. How these input devices also have the registers, okay. Not only the register present in the processor and even the registers also present in the keyboard and also display also. Means what? Input devices also have the, and also output devices also have the of its own registers. What type of registers we have here? You can see this is the interconnection. This is the interface between the input devices and the output devices. We are connected with this is what the system bus. Okay, this is what system bus. If you want to communicate, if the keyboard has to communicate with the processor and even the display has to communicate with the processor, then we have to communicate always with through the buses only. Okay, through the buses only. Okay, if you with even in such a situation, even the keyboard and even the display also have the registers. Okay, before going to display any matter, okay, any output, that is to be stored first where come to where in the data out registers, and the data, if you want, if you the keyboard, if the user, okay, if any user is pressed any key on the keyboard, then that is to be stored where in the first, it has to be stored where in the data in registers. It means here we have the two registers. One is what the related to keyboard, another one is what the related to display. You are here, we can see here data in is the one of the register which is present in the keyboard. Data out is register is the one of the register which is present in the display or output devices. Okay, you should remember. Okay, there are 4 types of registers. Each and every registers, okay, related to our keyboard and mouse, we have the keyboard and the display. These are the registers. What the size we have? 8 bits registers, 8 bit in size. Okay, one is what the data in registers which is related to what the keyboard, another one data out register related to what the display output device, and this is the status registers. Okay, this is the status register which is related to both for the input and output, and also control registers which is related to what the for the input devices only. Okay, this will be maintained by whom? Processor. Okay, let us see. Okay, in the data in registers. Okay, what is the data in registers? Data in registers is one of the register which is present in the keyboard or input devices. If the any character is to be sent toward the processor toward the keyboard, that is to be converted, that is to be ASCII code. Okay, that is to be ASCII code. ASCII means what? American standard code for the information interchange. American standard for the standard code for the information interchange. Okay, this is the ASCII code. What is the ASCII code? If any input is coming from the keyboard or input device, that is to be converted to what? The ASCII code. ASCII code. That ASCII code is where it is stored. First it comes to where? In the keyboard it is to be stored where? In the data in registers. This data in registers is to be go to from the ASCII code which is present in the keyboard, that is to be that always go to where? In the processor with the help of through the buses. Means here the data in registers is the one of the buffer registers. This is what the buffer register which will hold the content, which will hold the ASCII code before going to processor. Okay, this okay. Next, data out registers. Data out register is the one of the register which is present in what? The display or output devices. This also holds what? The ASCII code before going to display to the output devices, before going to send to output devices. This will comes from where? In the from the ASCII code comes from where? Processor. It is sent to where? In the output devices. Output device, before going to display to the output device, before going to send output device, the output device work first that will come to where? In the data out registers. Processor in the output output device barbekadre display agakkiಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ data out register ದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. This what it will store? Only the ASCII code. Okay, this is the data in register is which is present in the keyboard, which will store the ASCII code before going to processor from the user. Okay, data out register is one of the register which will hold the ASCII code from the processor before going to display the before going to output devices, before going to display the result here. These are the two registers. Another one is status registers. Status register, as you already seen the status registers in the processor. Even the this keyboard and mouse, okay, sorry, keyboard and the display. This means for input and output devices also have the what the status register. This is also what is the size of the status register? 8 bits only. Here we are having the 4 types of status registers are there. One is what the S out, S in. S in is the one of the register which is related to what the keyboard. This is the S out is related to, okay, display. What is this? This is the status registers. These are what the flags, not a. These are the flags or bits. Okay, this is what the S in, S out. Keyboard interrupt request. Okay, keyboard interrupt request. This is what the display interrupt request. S out andra, okay, status out. This is the status of the input devices, status of the output devices. This is what the keyboard interrupt request. Okay, this is what the display interrupt request. How? Okay, first we will consider the S in. What is the S in? Is status in register. S in is the status registers related to what the input device. If any input device is active, then the S in will become what the erase the it's 1. Otherwise, it is what the 0. If the keyboard, if the processor is sending the information, okay, to the keyboard, or the keep on tracking the processor will what it will be searching if any interrupts are occurring, if any request is coming or not, it will say it is searching. That time the SN is the keyboard is what the active. If SN active idre enaguttade, sorry, keyboard active idre enaguttade, SN status flag active ಆಗ್ತದೆ equals to 1 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. S out ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೋರಿ, ಮಾನಿಟರ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ that time the S out status flag will be raised high. Raised high means what? It will becomes what the it becomes what the 1. Otherwise it is 0. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಎರಡು ಅದಾವ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಎರಡು ಅದಾವ. ಇವೆರಡನ್ನು keyboard interrupt request, display interrupt request. Okay, the processor will keep on searching the what the whichever the devices are requesting him. ಈಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತದ, ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸರ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಯಾವ್ದಾರ ಇಂಟರಪ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತದೇನು, ಯಾವ್ದಾರ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಫ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್, ಇದು ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೋರಿ. ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸರ್. ದೆನ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಸೆಂಡ್ ಟು ದ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ಹೂಮ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸರ್. ಅದು ಕೇಳ್ತದ, ನನಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಕೊಡು, ನನ್ನ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಕೊಡು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ. ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ the interrupt request related to keyboard is becomes active. Otherwise it is a 0. What is this? Interrupt means what? It's a requesting. Interrupt means what? You are disturbing to the processor. Processor usually running ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನನಗೆ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಕೊಡು, ನನ್ನ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ that is what type of disturbing to the processor. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಇಂಟರಪ್ಟ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. This is what the interrupt request ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ with what the keyboard interrupt request. Otherwise another one is the display interrupt request. This if you want to communicate work with the what in non display work ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, output devices work ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ output devices has to send the what the display interrupt request. Okay, these are the some status related to flags related to what the status registers. Come to the control registers. Control register is also one of the registers which is present in the display. This is also what the 8-bit register only. Here we have the two instructions type. One is what the data in, the display in. Another one is what the keyboard. Is this? I written wrong there. Okay, enable. Okay, E abakidu, sorry, D enable. Okay, ನಾನು ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇದು ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಎನೇಬಲ್. ಈಗ ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ವರ್ಕ್ ವಿತ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಅವಾಗ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ ಇದು ಯಾವುದು ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಎನೇಬಲ್ 1 ಇತ್ತಂತೀರಿ ಇಟ್ಕೋ, ಅವಾಗ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಕತ್ತದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತದೆ. ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ connection with what the processor. It's working under the what the keyboard enable. This is what the K in is what the key in was the keyboard enable. ಇದು ಡಿ ಏನಂದ್ರೇನು, ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಎನೇಬಲ್. ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ದ, ಈಗ ಯಾವ್ದು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಈ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸರ್ ಜೊತೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಅವಾಗ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಅವಾಗ ಇದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವ ಅವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸರ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತದ, ಏ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸರ್, ಏ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್, ಏ ನೀನು ಯಾವುದು ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಡಿವೈಸ್, ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ವರ್ಕ್ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ದ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ದ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಎನೇಬಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಎನೇಬಲ್ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್. ಈಗ ಇಂಟರಪ್ಟ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತದೆ, ಇದು ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್, ನಾನು ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ, ಸಾರಿ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸರ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬಿಂಗ್ ಯು, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಮೀ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಯಾರಿಗೆ? ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸರ್ಗೆ. ಆ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸರ್ ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ ವಾಪಸ್, ಓಕೆ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಎನೇಬಲ್ಡ್. Keyboard is what? Enabled. Okay, you are active. Okay, you are the connecting with what the processor. Me to I will give the service on with what the keyboard enable signal in the. ಈ next display enable signal ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಇದು ಈ display enable signal is what the, this is the output signal. This is also used for the enabling what the output devices. That's the display enable. Okay, these are all related to what the input and output device registers. Okay, we have the 4 types of registers over there: data in, data out, status, control. Okay, related to data in, data out, and also status. Also we have the 4 more bits over there, and also control signals, control registers. Also we have the enable. Okay, first one is the display enable, another one is the keyboard enable. Okay, and how the processor and the keyboard and the processor and the display are interconnecting to each other with the help of what the registers. What the registers are? Data in registers, data out registers. This is S in, okay, status in. This is what the S out. These are also registers. Okay, this will be enabled only one when the keyboard is active. This is the only one enabled only one the or the output device is active. Okay, this is the keyboard. This is what display. Okay, just to copy whatever the things. So this is the main question they will be asking for the examinations. As the question is, they explain the IO registers, how the interconnecting to the processor. In ಕೇಳ್ತಾನ IO registers ಯಾವಾಗ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸರ್ ಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಇನ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಯುವರ್ notes or book. Okay, this is on the I referred some from some other books. Okay, just you write on. Okay, and also this is only the given in the book, but even you should have to write this one figure and also this figure also. Definitely you can write the 1.5 pages related to this one. I hope it is clear for you. Okay, yes or no? Chaitra, clear ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ಇದೇ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀನು ಯಾವುದು ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯಾ? ಈಸಿದ್ದು ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಒಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ನಿಂತಿರೋದು ಕಲಿಬೇಕು. ಯಾವ್ದಾರು ಮಾಡ್ರಮ್ಮ, ಬಂದು ಬೇಗನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಆದಷ್ಟು ಜಲ್ದಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಕೊಡ್ರಿ. ಸಾಟರ್ಡೆ ದಿನ ಮುಗ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಗೇನು 5 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ನೀವು ಸಾಟರ್ಡೆ ಕೊಡು, ನೀವು ಮಂಡೇ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಡು, ಮಂಡೇ ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಡು, ನಾನು ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ. ಹೋಗೋ ಟೈಮ್